1997, Salle football broke the national win streak record of 72 games. For the next 7 years, the most often asked question of me was, what's going to happen when you lose a game? Or what are you going to say to your team after you lose? The inference was always that no matter what was said or done, the answer and response would fall way short of the magnitude of that streak-ending loss. On top of that, it was a question that I truly never even thought about. Throughout my years in athletics, I've often heard it said, and I have often preached, that athletics mimics life, and that we can learn life skills and life lessons through participation. When Socrates claimed the unexamined life is not worth living, I believe he was saying that each day, each event, each person and experience should be carefully examined. That there is a teachable moment and a lesson for us to learn, provided we abandon our pride and with objective eyes see where we play into the story. I believe this very much. Yet the idea that a team couldn't answer for that first loss bothered me. After all, we were playing high school football. We weren't performing surgery, feeding the hungry, or saving lives. So what was it exactly that we were doing, and what was the point of what we were doing? Miss Lombardi said, a man's character is determined by his commitment to excellence, regardless of what field endeavor he may choose. I believe when the students make a commitment to play football here, then they too will make that commitment to excellence. It's a choice. This is what we do. We play football. Not only are we going to play, but we're going to play it to the best of our ability and leave no stone unturned. It doesn't matter if it's football, drama, basketball, LaSalle youth, baseball, band, or student government. At De La Salle, a commitment to nothing less than excellence is expected. So, as coaches, we must understand that even though we are not performing surgery, feeding the hungry, or saving lives, we are working with students who will someday be performing surgery, solving hunger, saving lives, and more important, creating loving families. Football is our vehicle. It's our medium. We use it to take us to those teachable moments and show us what is possible and what sometimes is not possible. We find out about our capacity for endurance, strength, determination, courage, sacrifice, teamwork, and love. Sport, when used properly, can be our testing ground for life, a place where we can stretch, reach, and put our character to the test. So does sports mimic life? For the moments that we participate, yes. Is it life itself? No. The streak ended on September 4th, 2004. You guys just happened to be the De La Salle team on the field when it happened. The reason for the loss was multi-determined. Responsibility hit all levels of team, coaches included. There was a lot wrong. It took us a while to get to that point, and I knew it was going to take us a while to get out of that valley. As I walked off the field in Salinas and sat in the locker room after the Palma game, I wondered. We were all feeling miserable and suffering through this season. I wondered if this team was going to learn the lesson that this season was presenting to them. I felt the initial loss to Bellevue and the end of the streak really wasn't that important. What I did feel was important was how we were going to respond after that loss. One of the great philosophers of our time, Helen Keller, once wrote, Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. For us, the opportunity was there. If there was a lesson to be learned for the 2004 Spartans, Helen's quote would have to be it. Could we re-examine ourselves, regroup, and overcome the disappointing start to our season? The answer to that question was yes. This team rebuilt their season one brick at a time. We went back to our traditions and the basics that made this program great. Hard work, technique, attention to detail, and understanding that a team comes first. At first, the change was imperceptible, much like the mustard seed. Maybe because it started with a change of heart. But once we got rolling, it became obvious to everyone. We finished the season in a flurry, dominating the playoffs and capturing the school's 20th North Coast section title. What a wonderful legacy this team leaves behind. You give hope to all teams that follow who are struggling and suffering through a season. You have set the example that hope is not lost and growth is a constant through all times and situations. So did our season mimic life? Yes. Was it a classroom for life lessons? Yes. But just keep in mind we are still playing high school football. Let's keep it in perspective and be mindful of real life trial and suffering. One day a year ago, I regained consciousness and found myself battling for my life. A beloved teacher at our school, Dave Sampson, is battling for his life in a hospital bed tonight. Brother Chris is watching his mother slip away as he battles his own health issues. Landon Kelly battles to overcome the most unimaginable suffering, the loss of his beloved son, Terrance, and his beautiful mother, Beverly. There are so many more so many more who suffer all over the world at De La Salle and everywhere. It is part of the human condition. There is no escaping it, not even Jesus could. We're all going to be there someday and experience suffering and trial. There are two ways to respond: rise and fight, or surrender and disappear. I want to follow Landon as an example for overcoming adversity. He could have been swallowed up in self-pity and anger, but he wasn't. It seems to me his soul has been strengthened. He is honoring Terrance. He has established the Terrance Kelly Foundation for at-risk youth. He's trying to help the youth of Richmond have the same opportunities that his son had. Let us all find a way to help him and let him know that his work is not in vain. It is my hope and prayer that the adversity you all experienced as athletes this year will be seeds that will call you into growth and action when real-life trials come knocking at your door, and that you will respond like you did this season, with your soul strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Thank you very much for a great ride this season.